Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, friends of Japanese prints. My name is Dieter von Schurer, but just call me Dieter. I'm the manager and owner of the Artelino company, and we sell Japanese prints in weekly online auctions, and we try to produce videos always focused on Japanese prints on a regular and sometimes irregular basis. Today I want to introduce to you this print by Ando Hiroshige. It's from a famous series, and it's one of the best designs from this series. The title is Wisteria and Half Moon Bridge at Kamado. Ando Hiroshige is the best known landscape artist, woodblock printmaker, woodblock print designer of the first half of the 19th century. He was born in 1997 and died in 1858. The title of the series is 100 Famous Views of Edo. 100 famous. 100? That's a little bit fake. The series consists actually of 118 designs plus a title page. Don't ask me why this difference. I don't know. The series was created shortly before the death of Ando Hiroshige. It's considered as one of his master series. Ando Hiroshige could finish all designs except for two. Two of these designs were finished by his pupil, by his student Hiroshige the Second. The series was first published between 1856 and 1858. The format is this typical ukiyo-e format called oban. Oban is just a certain size, not more. And oban tate-e, tate means portrait, and e is the Japanese word for image or picture. You also find an article about this famous series by Ando Hiroshige on the Artelino webpage. The Artelino website is not only an auction site, we also offer heaps of contents of information about Japanese prints, among others more than 1,000 articles in English, and I think 250 articles even in German. This is the article here about this series. And there you see you have the complete directory with the titles. And I think the images, I'm not quite sure, but they could be complete. And one is this half moon bridge. Let's show that now in detail. Okay, here we are. Why am I presenting you this print? First of all, it's a wonderful design, yeah. But this print also has a lot of problems, of condition problems, impression problems for a collector. And I'm now addressing this not for experienced collectors because they know it, but for beginners in Japanese prints to explain while a print can have a value of $100 or 1,000 or 2,000, and it's the same design, yeah? And the difference is the state of the print. Dealers of Japanese prints, they usually describe the state of a print with 3 factors. The first one is colors, the second is impression, and the third is general condition. Let me explain that. Colors is the question, how fresh are colors? I'm talking now about old prints, yeah, from the Edo period. The Edo period ended in 1868, and early prints from the 19th, 18th century, they were printed by using natural colors, colors made from stone pigments or from plants, and they have the capability of not keeping their fresh color. They fade away, they fade out, especially when under the influence of light and direct sunlight. And collectors want to have fresh colors. Well, this print, not only on this TV screen, which of course changes the colors, has very good fresh colors. The description by my Japanese wife Yori for the colors, the ranking, the grade is very good. Well, the other one is impression. What is impression? I have to explain that a little bit in detail. And I have to go into the technique of woodblock prints. Woodblock prints are made of wooden blocks with carved lines and carved flat areas. And for each of these colors, you have to use an extra block. Yeah? And with each print that is pulled from such blocks, the quality of these blocks deteriorates more and more. Experts have an estimate that you cannot pull more than 8,000–10,000 copies from one set of blocks, and then the blocks are so bad that you cannot take a look at the image, at the product anymore. And why? First of all, lines can break, but also the blocks, the wood, under the influence of the water, the wetting, the watering, during the printing, the wood shrinks. So take a look at this box here, and can you see here these white areas? Early impressions don't have them, and collectors want to have early impressions, fresh impressions. So the ranking by Yori, my wife, for the impression for this print is just fair. That's pretty bad, actually. Let's come to the quality. Also, our grading, our ranking for quality is just fair. And I want to read what our description says. Ink stains, moldy spots on the upper left area and on the margins, binding holes, that's here, 4 binding holes, and a warm track. That warm track is here along the right edge. Margins are soiled, yeah, you can see that distinctively. A warm hole on the lower right, we had that, a tear about 1 centimeter long on the right side of the bottom edge. You can't see the tear, but I think it's somewhere around here. Okay, it's just fair. Why am I explaining you this? So this is a famous series, a very famous design, very attractive, but the print is not in the best of all conditions. I'm explaining this to you to make you understand that the same design can have a huge difference in value. The same design, let's say, can have a value of $100 or $1,000 or $2,000. This depends on what collectors are willing to pay for good impressions with good colors and in perfect condition. Remember this, the same design is never the same value, and the span in price is huge, yeah? Normally, this design, well, don't kill me, but at least $1,000, my estimate maybe $2,000. Well, this one, because it has problems, has a reserve, I think, of $150 only. Reserve is the minimum price you have to bid in an auction. That reserve is, in my view, too low, also has counter bids, but it's certainly not something for $2,000. Okay, got it? Well, this view, the subject of this half-moon bridge, was very popular among Japanese artists, not only among the artists of the 19th century, also among the artists of the 20th century, and especially among the Shinhanga artists of the first half of the 20th century. And I now want to show you the versions, the way these artists saw it, for 3 of them. One is Tsuchiya Koitsu, the other one is Hiroshi Yoshida, and the third one is his son Toshi Yoshida. Well, this is the version by Tsuchiya Koetsu, and you see Shinhanga looks well, pretty different, much more modern, and well, these guys had an incredible skill in creating moods and giving you the impression of rain. Look, this is the Half Moon Bridge on a rainy day. How did they produce the impression of rain? Just by making these vertical lines. Here it's not very well to recognize, but I think when you look at that image, you have the impression, yeah, that's a rainy day. And for those who didn't get it, okay, they sometimes put a little person into it with an umbrella. Yeah, she's under the veranda, so the umbrella is closed. But that's also typical for another artist, Hasui Kawase. Rain scenes with just one or two persons with a huge umbrella. Let's take a look at the next one. This is the version by Hiroshi Yoshida, also beautiful. And they will show this wisteria flower stuff. And finally the version by his son, Toshi Yoshida. There are people who think these Shinhanga images are a little bit kitschy. I don't think so. And they are very, very popular among collectors and friends of Japanese prints. And I have to admit myself, I love them. I really like them. Okay, you can beat me up for that. Call me a guy with a kitschy taste. I love them. Well, enough for today. Let me finish with a proverb by one of my favorite guys, by Mark Twain. And that proverb goes like, "The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read." Sounds to me like Mark Twain anticipated today's internet culture, my friends. But you don't belong to those guys who just take a look at our images and just click buttons and don't read our descriptions. No, you are not one of these. Please always read our descriptions, because in our artelino auctions, bids cannot be cancelled. If you even ask that a bid of yours is cancelled, then we kick you out forever. Sorry, folks. Well, thanks for watching today, and it would be nice to see you for the next video and maybe in one of our auctions. Goodbye.